Hey guys, it's Shubham and welcome to this crash course. In this crash course, we are going to learn how to create a stunning double exposure effect in Photoshop. And double exposure effect have a popular design technique that involves blending two or more images together to create a unique and striking visual effect. It's a technique that's used in a variety of design fields from graphic design to photography and beyond. In this tutorial, we will be walking through the entire process step by step, from selecting the right images to adjusting the levels and saturation to make them work together, to using layer mask and blending modes to create a seamless and eye-catching design. By the end of this course, I guarantee you have all the skills you need to create your own stunning double exposure effect. So, what are you waiting for? Are you excited to join this course? Let's get started. Grab your images. See you in class. Before creating the double exposure effect, you need to understand why we use it in the first place. Its main purpose is to deliver a deep message. Many advertising agencies use this effect to emphasize on a specific concept. The first step is to have a concept. For this, I have already prepared a line like nature is beauty. And keeping in mind the concept, we need to find images for it. So step 2 is to find the resources. It's important to have a visual idea of your final output. It will make your work a lot more easier because you know exactly what kind of images you are looking for. There are many free stock websites where you can find the images you want. One of them is pixabay.com. Just Google it and you can see here it's a free stock photography and royalty free stock media website. Similarly, there is another website called pexels.com. It took some time, but I already found 3 images that we are going to use to create the double exposure effect. And when you have the concept ready with the images you are going to use, then almost 60% of your work is done. If you want a better understanding of the course, first see the whole course, then second time you can watch it slowly and follow along with me. And all the images used in this course, their download link is mentioned in the description. So we will first work on the girl image. Select the image and drag it inside Photoshop. See you in the next class where we will learn how to remove the background effectively. So in this part we will learn how to remove the background of an image and also learn about the major tools used to remove the background effectively. Next we will take the object selection tool, and you know what I really like about the tool? It's a select subject feature in the header. When we click on select subject, it will automatically create the selection. Next we will add a mask on it so the background will be removed and only the main subject will be there. Right now there is no background behind the image, so we will add an adjustment layer of solid color. Choose the color white and just hit OK. It's also important to give naming to each layer, so we will just double click on the layer name and rename it as background. And because it's a background, we will drag this layer to the bottom so that we can see the girl image. Let's also rename this layer as girl because it's a girl. Next we will zoom in to see whether the object selection tool did the work like how we want it to be. Like here you can see the edge is not smooth, but the top portion is smooth and rest of the hairs as well. We only need to work on the chin and the neck part. And for that we need to disable the mask. While holding shift, when you click on the mask, you can see a red cross on the mask, that means it's being disabled. And again while holding shift, when you click on the mask, it will get active. And if you are wondering why am I disabling the mask, it's because some of the neck portion is hides. We need to reveal the part so that we can use any other tool like pen tool to reveal that part. So take the pen tool and make sure in the header option select the path, zoom in and start creating the path with the pen tool. I know it takes a lot of time, but seriously this tool is the only one that gives the precise selection. Make sure your path should be smooth. I think we can just end it here, zoom out and create the rest of the path. You don't need to be precise and it just ends here. Now we will convert this path into the selection. Right click and select make selection. We don't want any kind of feather radius here, so 0 is good. Hit OK. Then again while holding shift, click on the mask to make it active. Now we will pan on the part where we want to edit. Here you can see some of the part is revealed and some of the part is hide. So before going further, if you don't have the knowledge of masking, let me tell you an important thing. In masking there are 2 colors that are very important. First is the black that hides the layer and second is the white that reveals the layer. Let's see it in action, it will make more sense. Like this blue square have the mask applied on it. Select it mask, choose the brush tool. Next we want to hide the layer, so we will choose black color and just paint on it. And when we switch it to the white color, it will start revealing the layer. That's how masking works. Let's move back to our main project. For example, here we need the black color to hide the part inside the selection. So take the brush tool and press D for the default colors, where the background color will be white and the foreground color will be black. And before brushing inside the selection, make sure your mask is selected, because we are not working on the layer, we are working on the mask layer. By brushing black color inside the selection, we will hide the object. By right clicking, you can decrease the hardness, make sure the hardness is 0, also reduce the size of the brush so that you can get a good control. And brush it over on the face edge. Did you notice here the chin part is missing, so we need to reveal it. But before that, we are going to invert the selection because it's outside of our selection right now. So zoom out, go to select and click on inverse. Now the outer portion is selected and we can work on it. Zoom on the chin part, and remember we have to reveal the parts, so we will choose the white color and simply paint over it. Here as well. Now let's deselect the selection. Go to select and click on deselect. And look at the difference, how smooth result we get. So this is how we effectively remove the background. See you in the next part. In this part we will learn to add a secondary image to create a double exposure effect. But before doing that, it's important to have the placement right. Also we need some space to add the secondary image. So let's do first thing first. To get a good output, we will flip the image. For this, go to edit, transform and click on flip horizontal. Next we will scale the image, take the move tool, make sure in the header you tick on show transform control so that we can see the bounding box, and click and drag from the corner to scale it down. Scale the image until it is in center. This much space is perfect. Click on take in the header. Next we want a landscape size document, so we will crop the top and bottom part. Take the crop tool and in the header set the width 3500 pixel and height will be 2500. Click on the artboard one time to see the crop preview, then take on header to crop the outer part. Next we will add the image, so take the move tool and from the reference folder we are going to use this tree image, drag it inside Photoshop and change its layer blend mode to lighten. With this, the darker color of the image will be hide and blend with the bottom color, so that's why we are seeing the base layer, whereas the lighter portion of the image will not get affected. Let's add some rotation from the right side so that the tree's angle can be aligned with the face angle. You can also directly move it. I think we can scale it up more from the corner. All we want to create harmony between the girl image and this tree image. If you think you want more rotation, just add some rotation and place it where it seems perfect. I think this placement is good. When you are done, click on take in the header. So here the head part looks amazing, but the middle river part doesn't go with the image, so we need to remove it. So instead of erasing the image, we can add a layer mask on the tree layer. And I know you know the basics of masking. Take the brush tool and choose the color black because we want to hide the portion from the layer. Right click, let's increase the brush size and paint on the portion you want to remove. You can also use right bracket key from your keyboard to increase the brush size and also remove the lower part of the image. When we zoom in, you can see this part is looking quite odd. So finishing is very important, so we will select the bottom layer mask and remove the hairs from here. Also the head portion needs to be blended with the background, so first we will take the brush tool and remove this portion. And if you are thinking it's not blending with the background, we can simply change the background color according to the image. So double click on the background color to change the color, pick the color from the image. It's blending with the background now, hit OK. And for the part that is not blending, select the girl layer mask and remove the portion that is creating the color difference. It's looking much better now. Now here I don't want the feather effect on the trees, I want a full tree. For this we will create a duplicate layer. Right click on the tree layer and create a duplicate one. Rename it as tree outside. And here we don't want this mask. So drag the mask on the delete icon to delete it and set the blend mode to normal. So first we will hide this layer completely by adding a negative mask. While holding Alt, when you click on the layer mask, it will add a negative mask on the layer. This layer is not seeing anymore, but when we take the brush tool and choose the white color, this painting over the trees will show the image. Let's brush here as well. So far the output is looking good. To add more clarity, let me show you what is happening on each layer. While holding Alt, when you click on the view icon of the layer, it will show only this layer and rest of the layers will be hide. This layer only have some trees portion. Let's check trees layer. Here a lot of the image portion is visible. Next, the girl layer. Here the background is removed, but we also need to remove the portion of the hair so that it can blend with the image. So this is so far what we did. Let's create a group. While holding Ctrl, select all three layers and drag it to the group icon. Rename this layer as photo manipulation, or you can also rename it as double exposure effect. It's your choice. In the next part, we will be adding the birds to make it 3D. Next, we will add some birds on the head portion to make it more 3-dimensional. Drag the bird's image inside Photoshop, zoom out and scale it down from the corner. Place it on the head portion and change its blend mode to multiply so that it will get blend with the background image. Let's move it slightly to the right and scale it down from the corner and take on header. Right now the bird image is not blending with the background, so we will add an adjustment layer of levels. And make sure to click on the clip button so it will only affect the bird's layer. So when we increase the lightness, the bluish color of the image will vanish. This is looking much better now. While holding Ctrl, select both layers and drag it to the group icon. Rename it as birds. This part have too much birds, so we are going to remove it, expand the group and select the birds layer. Add a layer mask on it. Then choose black color. Make sure your brush is selected and we have the black color to hide the image, and just paint over the portion where you don't want the birds. Now this is looking nice. In the next part, we will learn to add color tones and effects on the image. So far we have created double exposure effect with very minimal efforts. But now it's time to add some effects on it. Add an adjustment layer of black and white. The image is black and white, but it lacks the contrast. So we will add another adjustment layer of curves. In the grade portion, we will add 2 points. Slide the top portion to the left and down point to the right. It will create a S curve where we have intensified the contrast between the lightness and the darkness. You have the freedom to adjust according to your need. By hiding and unhiding the layer, we can see the difference. You can also hide black and white layer to get a colored version of it, but I choose not to. Instead, we will use our own color palette. So add an adjustment layer of gradient map. Click on the gradient to edit. Scroll down and expand the red gradients. We're going to use this one. Hit OK. Make sure to reverse the color because right now it looks too negative. Let's also change the blend mode to lighten and set its opacity to 60%. While holding Ctrl, select all adjustment layers and drag it to the group icon. Rename it as effects. So right now we have all the groups except for the background, so we will turn it on. Grouping is important. It makes your file looks very structured, layered and very easy to edit. And let's also add some colors to the layers. So this is how we create the double exposure effect in Photoshop. So that's it for this course of double exposure effect. I hope you found this course interesting and you are inspired to create your own designs. Remember, practice makes perfect. So don't be afraid to experiment more and try out new things that will make your design even more unique and eye-catching. If you have any question or suggestion for me, be sure to leave a comment down. And you can also find me on different social media channels. Thank you so much for taking this course and don't forget to follow me for more amazing courses like this one. Until then, keep creating. See you in the next class. Bye.